Judas Iscariot. His name is remembered with pain, with warning, with betrayal. But before he became known as the traitor, he was once just a boy. Born in the small town of Iscariot in Judea, Judas grew up like any other child. He was intelligent, ambitious, and curious about the world. People in his hometown would never have imagined that this young boy would one day walk with the Messiah himself. As he grew older, Judas joined the movement of Jesus of Nazareth. Out of thousands who followed, only 12 were chosen to be his closest companions, and Judas was among them. Imagine the privilege he had. He saw the miracles with his own eyes. He watched the blind receive their sight, the lame stand and walk, and the dead rise again. He heard words of life that shook the hearts of men. He shared meals, laughter, and countless journeys with the Son of God. Judas was not an outsider, he was one of the 12. Jesus even entrusted him with the money bag, making him the treasurer of the group. But in the shadows of his heart, greed was slowly growing. While others were focused on spreading the good news, Judas began to take for himself from what was entrusted to him. His love for money blinded him, step by step, until he was ready to sell his loyalty. Then came the turning point. The religious leaders wanted Jesus silenced. They feared his influence and his truth. And so Judas went to them, asking, "What will you give me if I deliver him to you?" The answer, 30 pieces of silver. The price of a slave. With that, Judas agreed to hand over his teacher, his friend, his Lord. At the Last Supper, Jesus revealed the darkness that was about to unfold. "One of you will betray me," he said. One by one, the disciples asked, "Is it I, Lord?" Judas too asked, "Is it I, Rabbi?" And Jesus answered quietly, "You have said so." Even then, Judas had a chance to turn back, but he chose the path of betrayal. That night, in the quiet Garden of Gethsemane, Judas led soldiers to Jesus. And with the kiss of a friend, he marked his master for arrest. "Judas, are you betraying the Son of Man with a kiss?" Jesus asked. Yet Judas pressed on, and the soldiers seized the Lord. When Judas saw that Jesus was condemned to die, the weight of guilt crushed him. The silver coins that once seemed so valuable now burned in his hands. He threw them back into the temple, crying, "I have betrayed innocent blood." But it was too late. The priests turned their backs on him. Hopeless, consumed by despair, Judas went out into the field. And there, he ended his own life. His last breath was not one of peace, but of regret. The story of Judas is a tragedy, not just because of what he did, but because of what he missed. He walked with Jesus, but he never surrendered his heart. He had every chance to repent, to be forgiven, to be restored, yet he chose guilt instead of grace. And here lies the lesson. Judas teaches us that closeness to Jesus is not enough. You can be near the truth and still reject it. You can hear his words, see his works, and still harden your heart. Greed can blind, sin can destroy, and despair can kill. But if we run to Jesus, there is always mercy, always forgiveness, always hope. Judas' name became forever tied to betrayal. But for us, his story is a warning, and also a call. A call to guard our hearts, to stay faithful, and to never trade the love of God for the temporary treasures of this world.